Hello, my name is SJ, and on behalf of the H7 Network, I have the pleasure of interviewing one of our valued members today. His name is Sean Roberts. Sean, thank you so much for joining me today.
Hey, SJ, thank you so much for having me.
No, it's my pleasure. I had some questions I wanted to ask you today, and I look forward to hearing your feedback. So the first one that pops up to me is share a little bit with those who will be watching and listening to this video. Describe your business, tell us how you got started, and why are you doing what you're doing?
All right, so I am in the business of selling homes. I'm a residential realtor here serving the greater Dayton area and have the good fortune of being able to have a real estate team with my wife. She and I this year started the Roberts team with Keller Williams Community Partners. And for the last 9 months now, we've been building our team dynamic and just trying to make ourselves grow and benefit the community with the services that we have to offer. I got into this business where my wife had been an agent for the last 3 years while I was an HVAC technician, and we had talked back and forth about me getting licensed, and then finally the opportunity presented itself, and I thought, I've got to jump on this. Let's see what happens. And it's been an interesting ride, but it's definitely been worth every bit of it.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing. That's great. On that note, I'd also like, you mentioned you have a wife, so I'd like to build on that a little bit, Sean. Share a little bit about you personally, your family, hobbies, whatever you'd like to share so we can get to know you a little better.
So I'm an Army veteran. I enlisted with the Kentucky Army National Guard right out of high school and was enlisted with them for 8 years doing a combat tour overseas in Afghanistan with a transportation unit back in 2010 to 2011. I got home from that, was working full time on base, and ended up crossing paths with my now wife in the most unlikely of circumstances, considering the state that I was in at the time. Just never in a million years thought that this would have occurred. But after my enlistment was up, moved up to Ohio. My wife and I have now been together for 7 years, married free, and loving every minute of it. No kids at the moment, but we've got an adorable 14-year-old corgi that keeps us plenty busy. It's spoiled absolutely rotten and knows just how to work us over. And we've both been now doing the real estate thing for me a little bit over a year and a half now, and this is her fourth full year that she's been selling real estate.
That's a great story. It goes to show that we sometimes arrive at our destinations in multitude different ways. So excellent.
Very true. Yeah, and regarding the hobbies, I was very fortunate too that found a wife that absolutely loves the outdoors just as much as I do. Because any opportunity that I can get to get out and do some hiking, kayaking, just anything in nature, that's my jam.
Excellent. No, that's a very illustrative story for those who'll be watching and listening. So I really appreciate that. Let's pivot briefly here, Sean, into your involvement with the H7 community. So how long have you been a member of H7, and what do you like the most about the network?
So I've been a member of H7 for a little over a year now. Again, my wife, where she was an agent for a few years, she had joined H7 prior to when I joined. And that was kind of the catalyst for me saying, this is something I'd be interested in. And I've absolutely loved the people that I've gotten to meet and being able to work with so many like-minded individuals that come from a position of just loving to educate people and serve others in their community and help those around them has been instrumental in the success that I think I've had and the others in H7 have had.
No, very well described, and that's very helpful to hear too from someone else that I get to interview. So appreciate that. My last question that pops up on my mind as we wrap up this interview is, you are being recognized today, as you're aware, Sean, for what we call an H7 the Win-Win Initiative, and the month of September, which we're already coming up in the end of October here as I record this, but for the month of September last month, you were recognized by the CEO and founder Clayton for this initiative. So I'd like to learn from you briefly what your experience, what it was, and why did you choose to participate, And what would you say to someone else who's a member who might also want to be part of Win-Win?
Well, biggest thing that I've pushed to people that I've talked to about H7 is, again, just the community within H7 and how everyone is striving to help everyone else out. Who do you know and who don't you know? How can I help make those connections for you so that your business can grow? Being able to bring people into that environment and have their eyes opened up to such a giving community of people to be able to work with in the area, I think would be very beneficial for folks. That was kind of the real reason for starting to bring people in was, and my eyes were opened up to what a great community it was and wanted to share that with others.
Nope, doesn't have to be, as folks, as you've just learned from Sean directly, it doesn't have to be complicated for why you want to participate in something. So the simple can replace the complex. So thank you, Sean, for that. And also, as I wrap this up, I wanted to thank you again so much for your time. I know the real estate market is burning, sizzling right now, so I appreciate you be willing to put a little time aside, and thank you again for being with me.
No, it's been my pleasure, SJ. Thank you again for having me.
No, thank you. So for those who are watching, you can again find us online. If you are just watching for the first time, it's H7, the letter H, number 7 network, singular.com. We have a calendar of events out there, and you can get to meet great people like Sean by coming to one of our virtual events, and or if you're comfortable, coming to an in-person one. So this is SJ signing off for today on this interview. All the best to everyone.